Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series, October 26th, 1985. Fast approaching the end of 1985, and I'm a little nervous about going into 86 because I think that's where it drops off. I really do. But anyway, we return to the Sportatorium for the majority of this. I don't think there's any non-Sportatorium stuff here. Actually, there is an interview from the Cotton Bowl show, but other than that, there is not. Anyway, Rick Rude, Ravishing Rick Rude, against Rick Mccord is your opening contest here. Rude comes in. We've seen him once before, about 3 or 4 years ago in World Class. Rude with the classic black studded robe here. And he does have the word Simply Ravishing on the back of it. So this is much more the Rick Rude that WWF and WCW fans would come to know. So he has found himself in the last couple of years. Actually, a sojourn off to Memphis helped with that, I do believe. Actually, that's one thing I look forward to eventually when I cover Memphis, being able to see guys rise through the CWA/USWA ranks. Anyway, Rude aggressive in the corner with knee strikes and the like. Irish whip out of the corner and goes right for him, or tries to, but Mccord comes back with a series of shots. And then we see Mccord, trying and not succeeding to wriggle his way free of an armbar. Rude with a fist drop followed by a chin lock and clubbing shots. Rude always been good with using the forearms in an aggressive, assertive way. That's there. It looks good. It is good. All that good stuff. And Rude brings his man back to his feet. Mccord tries to get free, but does not necessarily do so. Shot to the midsection by Rude. Rude then hits the, falling DDT for the victory. We will learn in the weeks to come that is called the Rude Awakening, but we don't know that here. We will learn this, though. David Peterson, Scott Casey up next. Casey, who has been previously attacked by the great Kabuki. Peterson, who has yet to really find himself in the area. And, of course, Casey still associated with Sunshine. Kind of the international, among other things here. Drop down and a attempted roll-up by Casey. Peterson tries to use the tights, grab the tights, go for the tights, does not get what he wants out of it. And then we see things kind of going in that direction. Casey sets him on the top rope. Peterson, a little frustrated with the way the match is going, gets frustrated a little early. We do see a couple of other people here who are, I guess I would say predominant over the next couple of months in World Class. So kind of an important show, always important when there's debuts. Sunshine seems a little nervous on the outside that things are taking a little bit longer than she would like for Scott Casey to abolish his adversary. And arm drags, hip toss, and a body slam by Casey. Casey goes all the way around with the body slam and manages to go in a direction, and it's a good deal. Shot there and upside down in the corner, and a body slam. Peterson shows good power here, but does not get the victory. Casey comes out the back door. It's interesting to me that guys that look like they have a lot of potential but never make it have always kind of fascinated me in the wrestling business. Actually, in in film and theater too. But it's just, I've always kind of wondered, what is that intangible it factor that makes somebody push through and catch somebody's eye versus not when they're talented anyway. But Casey does come back and manages to come up and over, hit the backslide, gets the victory off the backslide. Interesting to see that be the end of the match. Scott, Casey, and Sunshine are interviewed, and it is clear that Casey wants to get his hands on the Great Kabuki after the attack not too many weeks ago. He basically says that he wants to get at Kabuki no matter what. Doesn't matter about the paint, doesn't matter about the kicks, doesn't matter about the fight, it matters about the betrayal. And then we see the grappler, Len Denton. Primarily a Portland guy, masked fellow, although kind of a little bit better than the cheaper masks we see. He faces off against Tommy Montana here. Denton, just a bit of a spoiler, within a couple of months going to be a main guy in the territory, so interesting to just kind of watch the go-around there, and, good mat wrestling there, and both men tip back up into vertical base. Montana manages to hold on to a armbar, but falls prey to a wrist lock relatively quickly. The arm control, wrist control is held on to quite a bit by the grappler again with that black and silver mask, kind of a cool looking mask. Anyway, drop toe hold by Montana tries to get things going, but when you embarrass the grappler, it seems he gets a little more aggressive. He also does use what they suspect to be a loaded boot, although he doesn't want people to mention that. So kind of does the stomp the boot thing and loads it up, gets going with it. He has a good knee lift as well. Amazing to me the number of moves that are not seen as, main event or bigger moves now, today, but were seen as a major thing back in the 80s. I mean, it's just amazing to me the number of moves that, if you brought them back today, people go, oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's from 1974, like it just, it's kind of funny. Big back body drop out of the corner by the grappler, and the grappler waits perched on the second rope and hits a second rope clothesline. That is his victory move for today. We then go from there to Mike, Fritz, and Lance Von Erich. Lance, the nephew of Fritz. Mike talks about coming back to wrestling, coming back to be ready to fight. Also mentions that Lance has been willing to cancel all other bookings in other areas of the country to come and continue the family name. This is done at the Cotton Bowl, and I'm sorry, but it's awkward, man. Like, Mike Von Erich still stumbling over his words a few weeks later, maybe at most 2 months after his initial injury stuff, and it's sickening to me, it really is, that he was promoted in this way, or promoted at all in his condition. Main event time, One Man Gang and Mark Lewin with Gary Hart versus Iceman King Parsons, Kerry Von Erich. Obviously, a really big deal. And we kind of go here. One Man Gang coming off of the loss to Iceman Parsons at the Cotton Bowl, which doesn't bode very well for him. Quickly, Von Erich dispatches the gang to the outside. Double drop kick on Lewin. Lewin bails out pretty quickly too, and the babyfaces have cleaned house. Gang comes back in right as this happens, and they nail the gang with a double drop kick. So the babyfaces early in control, or in control early, and Mark Lewin comes back in looking rather creepy. Toppling the gang a second time, not as easy as the first. Discus punch included in Kerry Von Erich's assault, but that doesn't seem to bother the gang any. Kerry says he wants to execute the claw, does so, but does not get the level of influence he wants to from that particular maneuver. Kind of the match breaks down. Logan going after Von Erich and working over his knee, finds a weakness in the knee and goes for it. The next several minutes, both Kerry Von Erich and Iceman King Parsons dominated. And the gang comes back in, uses his girth and power. It takes both men to try to subdue the gang. Parsons actually trying to pull the gang off of Kerry Von Erich at a point. This does not go the way he plans. Von Erich hits the claw on both guys at a point as well, and that doesn't go the way he plans either. We see Von Erich watch as his partner is cast to the outside through the middle rope. Von Erich 2-on-1, and then we see a shot to the post, to the middle of the post, and then there is a bit of dissension as the loss of the match causes the one-man gang to leave, I guess, the tutelage of Gary Hart, much like King Kong Bundy had done years before. Gang gets up in the face of Hart, and turn basically is the match is lost, and Gang is not happy. He clears house, nails Gary Hart, nails everybody, actually. Mark Lewin takes his own partner out. Hart and Lewin leave. Gang is on his own. He basically says he's done with Gary Hart, and that is it. And we close October on that note here in World Class 1985.